to kind of rock and contribute. So what I want to do is I want to talk about some of our accomplishments over the past 90 days. And, my number one favorite book, and I've given it to you guys, and I tell all of you guys to read it and read it again, is The Gap in the Gain. And, because it's so easy for us, and a lot of us in here are driving so hard that, we tend to only focus on kind of where we're trying to get to, and we're frustrated because we're not there yet. And what they talk about in The Gap in the Gain, in that concept, is that you've got to be, aware of constantly measuring how far you've really come, right? How far you've really traveled. And it goes like with what T was talking about, is thinking through, like, should I go back? And then you start to reflect on, damn, I've done a lot over the last 90 days. This is what Kyle was, as he's kind of thinking through, like, damn, we have done quite a bit of stuff. And so just having that high level of awareness of acknowledging all of the things that we're doing. And it's super, super important that you don't miss this step. And it's super important you do this with your team, because there's going to be team members on there that are, I think we can all agree, we're all emotional creatures. So we're driven by how we feel. And so we have to feel like we're winning every day, because we are. Every one of you in here is winning every day. And so you have to take the time to acknowledge it. I wanted to share another one of those little nuggets from the conversation with Coach on the podcast. And he talked about, he gives little acronym, little things, for everything. So, he talks about, smoke and fire. You have to get real. And he talks about, we're all nuts as humans. And how he breaks that down is N is negative emotion, U is understanding, and T is trust. And so what tends to happen is that when our negative emotions go up, our understanding and trust goes down. And so what we have to be able to do is help each other, help ourselves have a greater level of understanding, which will allow trust and understanding to go up, and those negative emotions will come down. And so it's just really good, the greater that understanding that we have of kind of the awareness of what's going on. But man, those wins help. But if you don't do that with your team, they're going to feel that negative emotion. Their understanding and trust in you and the organization and what you're trying to do is going to go down. So you have to take time to talk about the wins. So let's just kind of free flow and share. I want to talk about this for a little bit. Jennifer and Alan just left the airport, so they're on their way. So when they get here, we'll take a break, let them get set in the room, and then we'll rock and roll till lunch. So who wants to just kind of free flow share?
I just want to say something. How much do you sit around and think about how much you've grown? I was at that Cincinnati thing. It had to be 4 or 5 years ago now.
What was that, 19?
Pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And I showed up there, and you were just walking around handing out papers. And I thought, oh, this is a nice guy. Well, he must be the guy like just facilitates things. He's like a helper. And I didn't know who he was.
Good helper. I was a good helper.
And then I watched you, like, down at...
One of my, Alex is one of my dearest friends, and Blake Sloan is another very, very dear friend. And if you guys know who Garrett White is, he has a Warrior. Blake is the second longest person still active with Garrett. I think he was like number 38 or 39 in the Warrior program. And he's been with Garrett forever. And so being able to get kind of that perspective, if you understand kind of Garrett's philosophy and Warrior and everything. And so Blake's very matter of fact, to the point, if you get to know him. And one of the mantras that Garrett, if and it's on my phone, it's my wake up every morning on my alarm. If you guys don't take advantage of your alarms, you need to take advantage of your alarms. So my alarm that goes off every morning, so it went off this morning, and I just put it on the label, and I see it every day. And it's, if the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies. And so part of that is what Michael just shared was, that goes off. That's a reminder every day. And the slide that I used to kind of open up the presentation at shareholders was from Garrett, and it says the king eats first. And yeah, okay, leaders eat last, we got all that. No, the king eats first. And what Garrett talks about is that you have a responsibility to be the best version of yourself for those that you're leading every damn day. Like that's your responsibility. You have to become the best version of yourself. And so it's just kind of that mantra, hey, how can I get better here in my health, right? How am I pushing? Make sure that I don't hang around Alex all the time because my liver can't handle it. But no, you're pushing there, right? The best version there. And I mean, y'all know everything that's going on, personally in the shit show that is going on. But that wasn't me being the best version of myself. Like, that's me. And so it's like, how can I improve? How can I grow? How can I be better there? And so it's just that mantra every damn morning, right? That alarm goes off and it's that trigger. It's like, yep, I gotta go. I gotta become better. So just whatever those little triggers, those little reminders, those things for you. And I didn't show Alex. Alex stayed at the house with me, but I did Goggins' accountability mirror in my bathroom upstairs. Well, Goggins, he gets turned on by the negative, right? That's his drive. That's what pushes him. We're not all created like that. And so I did the accountability mirror of all the negative things, and I was like, man, this isn't working. And so I put a positive affirmation on every one of them. And so it's definitely powerful to have those reminders in some way that you can, to where you see it. And then Alex saw that, so that then the vision board is right there. So you see the accountability mirror, and then on the wall is the vision board. And it has, just things that are important to be on that wall. We just need those reminders every day, 100%. So let's talk some accomplishments, some big wins over the last 90 days. Who wants to share? I can pick on people, or we can free flow.
I'll go first, because I was dreading coming here after reading my letter to myself.
Yep.
And I was,
it's a lot of the stuff that. And we'll get into some of the exercises. So I always like to take some of the exercises that are powerful for me to give back to you guys. And so for me on the activation every day was through when I went through the power of full engagement of the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual, and then layering in Hal Elrod's savers every day. Silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing, journaling. And one of the things too that is really, really the most important, and this is what Coach and I talked about, because I asked him on the end of that conversation. Y'all have to listen to that. So I've had Coach for 8 months now, and that's 2 hours every month. Like, we go deep on all of that stuff. And what I'm focused on right now is happiness, and that's like everything that I do. Am I happy? And then my new life mantra, with what Total, shared, and living, because it's a creative world. Design the life you want to live, right? And so living that life. But what Coach was talking about, he's like, I asked him, I said, what is the most important thing that we have to be focused on moving forward in life? And he's like, mindfulness. You have to have some type of mindfulness practice. So that goes back to the S, that goes back to the silence. So whatever that mindfulness practice is for you, silence, could be prayer, could be a meditation, it could be a deep meditation. I'm more of the mindfulness practice, and I use the Headspace app. So typically I'll do it when I start my run in the morning, I'll listen to it. It's about 10 to 12 minutes guided meditation. So like this morning, thanks to Alex, there was no working out this morning. So as I was getting ready, I put the app on. And it kind of goes through, and I can take you through it just because I'm about to be at 30,000 minutes on the Headspace app. So think about that. Now, do I sit and go through complete No, but I know that it's having some type of effect on me. And I forget who said, don't take yourself so serious. In my 30s, I was that guy, right? And I did a great exercise when I turned 40. I had an incredible 40th birthday. It was a surprise party in Vegas. Like, I show up, And I didn't think I thought Kinder was going to be the only one there because I saw it in his calendar and it wasn't supposed to be in his calendar. And I asked him, I said, hey, so you going to be in Vegas as well? What are you doing? He's like, oh yeah, we're going to conference, yeah, whatever. I said, hey, let's just meet up for lunch or let's have drinks or whatever. So I literally thought, we were at the Cosmo, I literally thought I was going to see Kinder, and I turned the corner and there's, 20 of these people there. It was amazing. And I don't even know where I was going with that, T. You got me all off track here.
Headspace.
Mindfulness. We'll go back to mindfulness. So happiness, but mindfulness. And then he said the other thing is studying emotional intelligence at a deep level. And so emotional intelligence, there's 5 pillars. Mindfulness every day is part of the savers. Emotional intelligence is just the skill set that we need to be aware of. Yeah. So that's the skills to develop. Emotional intelligence is all skill, so you can develop that. What other wins?
Hey, I'll talk about something briefly. Without going into detail of what it was really just I'll talk about the structure and the mindset. So I did something over the last 90 days that I've never done before. When I was presented with the opportunity I thought, well, I don't know anything about that, and I don't know how to do it, and I don't even think I can do it, and I'm probably not the right guy to do it. But after I looked into it a little bit more, I took the opportunity, and I realized I was going to do it. But before I started doing it, I made up my mind that I was going to do it and be successful